Hi guys, Roscoe here. Recently I uploaded a video of the new Hot Toys Classic Predator. Since then I've received a number of requests from people wishing to see him displayed with the mask on and the open mandibles. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys now. And I thought while I was at it I might as well do a side-by-side comparison between the original Classic from the first film and the new Classic from the Predators film. Alright, so if we take a look at the new version, overall it's a much more accurate figure in reference to both films. However, there are some details and features that this guy doesn't have that would have made it a perfect replica to the Classic Predator in the first film. So I wouldn't say that this guy's completely redundant, you could say. There's still stuff in that makes it Predator 1, but overall this is just a much better figure, even though it is lacking some of the things from the first film. Alright, if we look at the two masks, this has the battle damaged from the new film. You can see the eye in there. I haven't pushed the mask fully on because it's just a bit difficult to remove it with while holding the camera, so that's why you can see that little cap there. But the mask from the original angles back a bit too far, and it is a lot bigger in proportion to the body, so I know a lot of people were disappointed about that. But yeah, overall the head sculpt and with the mask on is a lot more to scale, and that probably being due to the mandibles being built into the mask. Right, so I'll just take it off here. Now there's another thing I noticed which I didn't talk about in the review, is that not only do you have to take the two mandibles off, you have to take the bottom jaw off as well to get the mask on. So we haven't seen that yet in any other Hot Toys figure. So there's actually 3 sections missing. So what you have to do is get this little piece here when you want to put the mandibles back on, and just slot that back in like so. Yeah, so now you got the bottom jaw back in, and I'm going to put the open mandibles on. There we go. Alright, there you have it. Now that is an awesome head sculpt, guys. This is one of the Predators I definitely would like to display with the open mandibles on. I don't usually like doing that. The Predators I usually have the masks on or with they're closed. But this is one of the first Predators in my collection, I think, where I really like the open mandibles. He was displayed in the film like this more often so than with the mask on, so I think this might be how I'll keep him displayed. But you got a more subtle pink colour inside the mouth, whereas on this guy it's a lot more red. There's still something about that sculpt which reminds me of the Predator 1 film, but overall this is a much better accurate sculpt to both films. The dreads on this guy didn't fall very well, not as long as they should have been, and they sort of spray out a bit, whereas this one they hang really nicely and they're quite good length. Now I mentioned a few other differences between the two in the last review, but now that I look at it, I think most of the whole figure's been completely revamped and redone. Even though certain parts might look similar, they're larger because of the new body. This guy has the more larger, taller body. So if you look at them side by side, they're both standing on a similar size base. The new guy's taller. Not as tall as Berserker, but a lot better than this guy, which I think was way too short. Yeah, so everything's been completely redone to fit the new body. You have a smaller shoulder cannon. This part is a lot wider, similar to the Necker. That's why it bunches up a bit here with the dreads. The backpack goes out a lot further and doesn't have the medikit that this one does. The overall look of the armour is a lot cleaner, and this one's more weathered. There's a cable and a bit of armour missing here. So the armour is missing here, and there's a cable, which this guy has in the original film. The wrist gauntlets are completely changed. This one has the part where you can put the hologram. It doesn't have the black windows. And the gauntlet on that side is a lot squarer with longer sort of machine coloured blades. Whereas this one's got more of a rounded design like the AVP stuff with a much more shiny wrist blade. Also, the strapping on this guy is plastic, while this one is like a vinyl leathery type strap. He's painted more of just a browny colour. This one has a lot more variation in different shades and tones from light to dark. The paint job on this is just a lot better. You have that slimier look on this one. This one is a little bit glossy, but this one just has a lot more of the realistic look to it. The body netting is black, whilst this one it's brown. The codpiece, thigh armour and shin guards are a lot thicker, whereas these ones are a little bit smaller. The joints on this one are a lot better concealed. You can't really see them at all, whereas this guy you can pretty much see them all over in between the arms and the chest here. And the feet on the new guy are a lot bigger to keep into scale with the new body as well. So pretty much it's a whole new Predator from the ground up. I don't think anything's been reused. A couple of differences to stop it looking like a complete Predator 1 replica is the colouring. Obviously the hands don't have the patterning like this guy had in the film. And all the inside here, you can see all the, it's almost like a gloved look, whereas the other one doesn't have that. Also the original guy had tassels coming off his arm, obviously the different cabling, and the original has skull trophies and neck trophies sort of all over his body, whereas this one's just pretty clean and he's got nothing. Also, as I said in the last review, this guy's belt part doesn't have the joint, whereas this one does. Yeah, so overall the new one is a lot better reference to both films, but I wouldn't say it's a perfect reference to the first film. But is worthy to those people who haven't got the Predator 1, who want to get a figure and don't want to pay $500 for this guy. He's not as good as this one. Yeah, so also the base with the new one, I think it's a lot better. Stands out a bit more. You got that big, large bit of skin there. Whereas even though the jungle theme is pretty cool, it's just a very small little puddle. So just a couple little ferns coming out. So the base on this one is a lot bigger, which complements the figure more. Alright, I think I've covered everything now. I hope that gives you a better idea of what he looks like overall when compared to the original Predator. So I'll leave you now with that. Thanks for watching. In the next few days I'll be doing an update of my Predator collections, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, see you guys.